enjoy our mid-morning reception. We have mimosas right after this, Bloody Marys, food, and most importantly, we have Governor Malloy as our keynote speaker. So please enjoy that. But for delegates, today is roll call. So you, in addition to picking up your credential, you will be giving a ballot to vote and to cast your vote for tonight, okay? Very important. In addition, we have, you also will, there's the day trips for those of you who are parents or those of you that want to do the day trip. Today is the Adventure Aquarium and the meeting place is the Twisted Tail. Also be sure to pay attention to your email. You will be received already, but we're going to resend it out, a link to RSVP for the Lady Gaga concert on Thursday. You must RSVP, yes. And really quick, I want to say thank you to the Honorable George Norcross for putting together that incredible event and inviting everyone. You are a delegate, you will get a ticket and you will be seated. But you have to RSVP, it's the only way we know the amount of folks, and the tickets will be delivered here to the hotel. All right? We have a list also, but so if you didn't RSVP, don't come looking for a ticket. Or maybe you will get one, but wait. Yes.
One of the most powerful people in New Jersey.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Susan Baslevin says for the delegate tickets, Susan Baslevin or Mary Cruz, who is here as well. All right. Tonight we have Bill Clinton speaking, which should be very exciting. And we also are going to hear from the mothers of the movement, Black Lives Matter. So I'm very excited about that tonight. Most importantly, gavel time is 4 p.m. Hear me out, folks, because let me tell you, the transportation hasn't been easy, and it's not only us, it's not a unique problem to New Jersey, it's everyone. So try to leave here by at least 2 or 2:30 if you're a delegate, in order for when gavel time starts, we are organized on the floor. So please, this goes for delegates again. Very important that we are all there and seated by gavel time, which is 4 p.m. What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else on the, photo booth outside. Remember to download the app, Celebrate NJ Now. If you haven't done so, we send important updates, instructions, and everything, and it keeps you updated on the reception. I think the post-gavel reception tonight is sponsored by the Northeast Regional Carpenters Union, and it's at the Franklin Institute. That's after 10 p.m. And for those of you that are not delegates and don't have credentials, we will have a convention watch party here at the hotel. So please enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much, Mayor Fuller, for sponsoring today's breakfast. Thank you, New Jersey Democrats. Onward.
Alright, so we have our instructions for...
One more thing. There are not ballots for delegates. There's a voting forum where they can cast their vote when picking up the credentials. So there's not a ballot. Just tell us when you're picking up the credentials. Vote. And if you are not the person that's a delegate, you are not able to sign up credentials. Bring ID. Thank you.
Alright, so we have our instructions. This is the instructions for the day for the New Jersey delegation. Outside the airport, Renaissance Hotel near the airport. And we are going to vote for president, which will be announced at roll call tonight on a state-by-state basis. For when we pick up our credentials, which I'm going to go to do now, might as well show you just voting for Bernie Sanders. Let's do it. Conference room where we had breakfast and today and everyone else yesterday. Really nice breakfast and a band.
You have tickets. You have tickets.
Lots of
My mentor emailed it.
flash. And none of it is officially impressive to me. Because there's something much bigger going on than all of this flash and these fancy people and these big name singers.
It was recent, so I don't know why it's not on my list. But
Am I going to be on Twitter?
Putting it on Citizens. So these are your buttons?
Yeah.
I'm Citizens Media on Facebook.
What is that?
It's a live streaming television station on Facebook. So if you want to tell us about this, go for it.
These are some political buttons for the 2016 campaign.
And you made all these?
These are from Bold Concepts.
From what?
From Bold Concepts, it's a company that sells buttons for the convention, for the campaign, works with a lot of political
I think this works.
clubs.
Great, so let's take a look at some.
They're made 20 miles from here, right from Philadelphia.
They're made 20 miles from here?
From Philadelphia, yeah.
It's close, something like that.
Yeah, no, it's 20 miles from here. So they're locally made, they're made in the USA, and they're all union.
They're all union.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I happen to have a little bit of a problem with this one, but otherwise they're all.
Oh, you
cool
like
with me.
that? You don't like that one? Oh, I know.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't. No offense, but
No. Okay, everybody has a different.
otherwise, all good-looking buttons.
I'm going to just check and see we're a little bit low on change. If you happen to have something smaller, you don't have anything smaller.
$3.
Okay.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go vote for Bernie. So press check-in for New Jersey. And here it is.
You just done for a bag. Check you out.
I'm excited to be here.
Would you like another one?
Smart guy.
Fellow delegate.
I have so many bags. I'm not actually
Give you a would you mind asking me some questions?
Sure.
This is Facebook Citizens Media.
Okay.
I'm a Bernie delegate.
Okay.
So this is Citizens Media. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what's happening right now? And
Oh, sure. I'm just online to get my credentials for the day. I don't know if I have to vote or something this morning.
I believe that we're voting for president for the roll call.
So I live in West Powell, New Jersey. My husband is actually the Essex County clerk. I don't know.
I live right across the bridge, 25 minutes away from Mapleshade. If there was no traffic, it would be 30 minutes away.
Right.
Where is your town?
It's more in North Jersey, close to Newark, or outside of New York City, like 20 minutes.
Okay. And what's been your experience so far at the DNC?
I guess it's crazy. I guess I didn't expect so much division at this stage of the convention, but it's good.
What's your view of that? I've seen some Hillary supporters that are just resentful of the booing and it's over and that kind of thing. Where do you?
I'm not resentful. I guess everyone's entitled to their opinion, but you figured if Bernie endorsed her and dropped out of the race, then that's kind of where we're at, right?
Well, he did endorse her. Didn't drop out of the race.
He didn't. He's still in the race.
Oh, he's still in the race. I'm voting for him as soon as we get to that table. But will he likely win? No. But it's just, from my point of view, it's the closure. If he dropped out of the race, we wouldn't have the closure. So this is my letting go of it. So.
Right. Do you think it hurts that it will allow Trump in?
What will allow Trump in?
Don't you think if everybody's voting for Bernie now, it gives Trump more of an advantage?
If people vote for Bernie at the roll call at the DNC, that it gives Trump an advantage?
Well, eventually there's a division on the Democratic side when it comes to the general election. Do you think it would? Just in your opinion.
I'm trying to understand your question, sir. You're talking about...
I'm just saying the division at the party, not necessarily the vote right now. I'm just saying in general. The division within the Democratic Party now. Do you think it will hurt at all in the general election that more people would then vote for Trump?
Well, I'm not Bernie or bust, but I have a lot of friends that are Bernie or bust, and I mean, they're in a really difficult position. It could be. I've heard a lot of people blame, before it has even happened, that if they don't vote for Hillary, then they're the cause of Trump. And I personally think that that's not totally fair, because they're not what has the Democratic Party done to earn their vote? And did they leave the party, or did the party leave them? That kind of a thing. So I don't know if that addresses what you're saying, but
I'm just curious. I'm more neutral on. I don't have an extreme feeling either way. So
well, I'm absolutely passionate about Bernie, but
clearly
I'm not. But I'm not Bernie or bust. But the fact that I don't see that she's really worked very hard to earn my vote.
I understand.
So, all right, well, thank you very much. All right. What time is actual roll call? I think it's we're voting right now, I believe, and then the roll call itself, I believe, is going to be before Bill Clinton gives his speech tonight. So roughly 7 o'clock. I don't know when he's speaking, but I think he is the headliner tonight. Bernie spoke around, I don't even know, 9 o'clock, so maybe 8 o'clock. But anyway, it's later tonight.
You were so nice. You didn't know me when I was looking to get taken signatures on petitions, and I knew you were going to
Work with the elevators a little bit.
I didn't know how I was going to be meeting with What room is that? And you were very gracious. You were
So I'm waiting in line to cast my vote for Bernie Sanders or whoever these people's choice. There's a lot of, all these people are delegates, and they're all casting their vote for president. So it will be announced at the roll call tonight. So the roll call on a state-by-state basis, a representative from each state will go up to the microphone and will say, there's state of New Jersey has this many votes for Bernie and this many votes for Hillary. And the ceremony,
There's a bigger picture here.
I guess, is the foundation of choosing who wins. This is my first convention, so I'm learning as you guys are.
The Bernie people that are still on the floor acting like children.
You're welcome, Ryan.
I feel like an old mother. It's like, I want to say, stop it. I'm sitting waiting around.
Well, I get the whole passion.
You can't hear me? You still can't hear me?
10 o'clock by the reception.
Allison?
The first time you're really passionate about a subject or an interest, and then it doesn't work out the way you want. There's a lot of
Yes, the roll call vote is being taken now. And then the final tally of how many men got and how many... I'm on this line right here. How many Bernie and how many Hillary votes for each state is going to be announced later today.
accepting that.
I can't get close to the mic. So how many people are voting for Hillary and Bernie for each state is going to be announced later today. But yes, right now it's Good morning, Maddie.
You don't want to have full students.
Right. Sorry, I'm just looking at
Ryan and I were at the Via Cora Center in Philadelphia Bernie rally with a tiny little baby strapped to her chest. I think 2 months old, right, Ryan? And we were in line for like how many hours, and then we waited for Bernie for how many hours, and the little baby just didn't make a peep at all.
So, you know Fred Sampson? Yeah, Fred has been my own political, I'm a social worker, and we used to work together.
So, for those who are just joining, I'm in line to get my credentials for the day and to cast my vote for president for roll call. So each of the states will announce their tallies tonight of how many votes were received for Bernie and how many votes were received for Hillary. They can't actually take the count at the convention center because people are moving around, so it's dark, it's loud, and people are getting food. So they take the vote now, and they announce how many per state tonight. So a representative from each state will post a microphone within their section in the Wells Fargo Center, and will announce the great state of New Jersey has passed for Bernie.
If your last name starts with M or later, you can go around the line, and there's another table on the other side.
Good morning, Liz. That's Liz, a new friend, delegate, who is pretty discouraged.
I'll do better next time.
Questions? Alright, so I'm showing everyone what it's like, you know, just for the morning, the announcements, and then going through a roll call. So this is Peter Jacobs. This is one of the only winning Bernie-crat for Congress in the state of New Jersey. That's correct?
Correct.
So this is Peter Jacob. He's now in the general. Can you tell us what your morning's been like? What's been going on?
Well, it's fun. It's exciting. We got the opportunity.
Do me a favor because of all the noise. Can you talk a little louder?
Yeah, sure. It's fun, exciting. We had a wonderful breakfast sponsored by Mayor of Jersey City, Stephen Fulham. Got this wonderful bag from Assemblyman John Wisniewski. We were able to pick up our badges this morning, and as a pleo, as a party leader.
So we got some New Jersey right here, and then the floor for a delegate, and I guess that's yesterday's.
This is yesterday's. This is today's.
Okay.
As a pleo party leader, elected official, I got to cast my ballot, and I voted for Bernie Sanders for president. You know, I'm excited for today. We got a good amount of energy in this room here today. Much more energy throughout the convention center. I'm looking forward to working with everybody to create a democracy and economy that works for each and every single one of us.
I actually got a little chill when you said I voted for Bernie Sanders. That was cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
All right, see you.
Delegate, right? Delegate.
Ask you a couple questions.
Thank you.
Ada, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
All right.
Hi.
Hi, Ada. This is my fellow delegate in my very own delegate. What do you call it?
District 3.
District 3 delegate district in New Jersey. So, Ada, what's been going on? What are you doing?
Waiting for my credentials right now, and then we're going to have a meeting with the Bernie delegation at 10.
With a lunch with Wisniewski, right? Is that what you mean?
The 10 a.m. meeting?
No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know this.
Oh, so there's a 10 a.m. meeting apparently.
For
Bernie delegation. It's in the what's the room again? The room name? Whitman room.
the Whitman room?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you know.
Now I know. Thank you.
Yeah, we heard as we were. It was inside the. They said it in the meeting, right? Yeah. They said it in there.
So, if could I ask you to explain, like, your perspective, like your?
Sure.
If you.
No, it's fine. I am.
So, I'm not Bernie or bust, but I'm not. I don't think I'm as strongly as unity as you are.
I started off as a Hillary supporter. So when I heard about Bernie and I learned about him, I was like, I absolutely love him, and I love what he stood for, and I wanted to fight for him because he was fighting for the values that I personally believe in.
My favorite. Talk a little louder because all this noise.
Yeah, like he was fighting for the values that I believe in. And for me, that's really important. Like I was going for Hillary because I was really excited about having the first female president. She was a Democrat. Like she's been involved. She's been doing stuff for a while. I wasn't like super pumped, but when Bernie came on the scene, I was like, oh my God, like this is so exciting. And I donated money, I donated time and energy to his campaign. And I was really inspired to support him. I feel that people who are calling that saying the process has been unfair, I agree, the process has been unfair. But I also think that it's really difficult to ask people to change the rules midway through the process. So our role as delegates and as supporters of Bernie Sanders is to advocate for these changes moving forward and to advocate for transparency. Because at the end of the day, what we know is what we know. And there very well may have been people conspiring behind the scenes to rig this election for Hillary, but we only know the information that's provided to us, and I'm not going to sit here and tear apart our party just because I'm like angry about this process.
I got your email and I asked
It seems a little bit like you're saying that yes, the rules weren't in his favor, and he chose to get into the Democratic Party and follow their rules, and he ended up not winning. But I see it as that the Democratic Party didn't even follow their own rules.
Oh no, so I'm not disagreeing. I think that we're talking about his supporters more than anything. So I'm not saying Bernie didn't follow the rules. Bernie followed the rules.
No,
and the Democratic Party, what I know is that there was definitely fraud. There was definitely election fraud. There was definitely issues at polling places across the country. And it's too many to be coincidental. But we have the information that we have, and it is what it is, and we have to move forward with that information knowing that there has to be a way to make this process fair to all people and not just a handful. But at the end of the day, like, I think that the ultimate evil is Trump, and I'm not going to sit here and like, oh, hate on Hillary, like, oh, I guess I'm going to vote for Hillary. Like, I think I came into this, like I said, being a Hillary supporter initially. I don't hate her. I'm actually really excited about the potential of our first female president. And yes, like, would I rather it be Elizabeth Warren? Of course. But she's a strong, intelligent woman. I think that the best thing right now is that we hold her to these progressive values that she's saying that she's going to stand for. I think that what Bernie is doing with the Sanders Institute is an excellent next step, because that is pushing progressive people into federal positions and getting them to hold her accountable for what she's promising. And so that is our goal as his delegates, as citizens of this country, to fight and to keep pushing her to hold her accountable for those things. So.
All right, thank you, Ada.
No problem.
Go vote. Go vote.
But you had your meeting there.
March 3rd is not early for
Yes, Allison, she just told me that there was a 10 o'clock delegation meeting for the Bernie delegates. She said thank you, Maddie. Yes, Rachel is asking, do you need to show picture ID? And yes, you do need to show picture ID.
Very good to see you again.
Yes, Burlington County, South Jersey.
Ada, someone just called you a smart lady.
Oh, awesome.
No, I don't know for sure.
Oh, I thought I heard you Googling what time is roll.
No, I'm filming right now. Sorry, can I ask you some questions? I'll tell you in a second.
Later.
Well, anyway, the answer to your question is, I understand, and I only understand roughly around dinner time, late dinner time. It's before the.
I finally got to meet
Folks, to make things go faster, just give us your badge, your Celebrate New Jersey badge, and that way we have your name. If you want to unclip it, that's fine too, either way.
What if we don't have that badge with us?
Any ID is fine. Just need something with your name on it.
I just wanted to give you that.
I really have it all together. I know when I
got my nails.
Here you go. You're gonna vote today. And here's the top of the sheet. This is back there.
As amazing as it is, no, thanks. Thank you.
It would be amazing to have some air. Everybody go. You're in Burlington. Thank you.
Can I ask you guys some questions? Would it be okay? Is it okay tonight? Well, okay. Go ahead. All right. So, good morning, Fran and Christine.
Good morning.
So, can you guys say, I don't know, anything? Enlighten us. Tell us what's going on.
Well, we're getting ready to go vote, and we're pretty excited about casting our ballot for Bernie Sanders. At least I am. I thought last night he did a great job giving a speech, and I thought the whole night was pretty good night. I thought Michelle Obama was fantastic. She's just a really great speaker. So we're really excited to be here and just being able to participate in democracy and cast our ballot for the person that we've been supporting all along.
I couldn't be more privileged and honored to vote for Bernie Sanders on behalf of everyone in New Jersey that stands behind Bernie, on behalf of everyone that is not of age to vote yet, that really feels the burn, and everybody in this country. I know that Hillary will make a great leader, but I believe that Bernie has set the stage and really said that we can all do this, and we can do whatever we want. And get involved with our local politics. So, I'm so inspired, and I'm not going to give up the fight.
And what are you guys doing for November?
Well, we're going to support the candidate. We can't let Trump win. For me, I would have preferred a different candidate, but given the choice, Trump is just too scary. He's too much of a fascist, too divisive. I don't trust him.
You're only okay with a little bit of a fascist, but he's just too much of a fascist.
He's scary. No, he is crazy. He's very scary. He's just very scary. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I think his foreign policy would be terrible. I worry about him being in charge of the military. It would be awful.
Let me ask you, so how strong is your vote for Hillary? How much of it is anti-Trump and how much of it is pro-Hillary? Will be.
My vote will be 100% anti-Trump. I'll tell you that.
I have to say that it's more anti-Trump than it is pro-Hillary. I'd certainly prefer Bernie Sanders to be the candidate, but it's just not to be. So
was Bernie or bust ever a consideration for you?
It was. I'll be honest. It was. But when I think about what's going to happen and the role that the president has to take, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I really reasoned with myself to figure out what would be the best strategy for this country. And I think that it would be keeping a Democrat in office as president of the United States and leading this country. That makes it so great.
And anything else that you would say to people that you know that are Bernie or busters?
Listen, that is completely your choice, but honestly, this is a very important election, and we cannot allow Trump to nominate our Supreme Court justices. We can't allow him to destroy our jobs, to keep folks down, right? You need to hold your political appointees accountable, and this is exactly what we're doing with Hillary, with what's going on right now. We are really making the progressive platform. So just keep it going. Bernie supporters, you have to make sure you hold folks accountable. Run for your own office. Get involved in your areas. And don't just stand there and complain. Be the change you want to see in this world.
All right, so let me ask you from a different point of view.
Right.
If Trump does win, do you blame the Bernie or busters?
No. I mean, if Trump wins, that's just a damn smack in the face to Americans everywhere. I don't blame anybody except for the people that voted for him and the people that didn't go out and vote. Right? You have that right.
Bernie or busters, a lot of them may not go out and vote. So.
Well, you know what? If you want to go out and vote and write Bernie Sanders' name in, cool. Go out and vote.
So as long as they go and vote, even if it's for Bernie Sanders or for Jill Stein, then that's okay.
Go out and vote.
But if they don't go out and vote, then you have a problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, that's fair.
She's calling me.
Ivan?
Yo, good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, my little roommate.
I am probably the smallest one of all three of us.
Well, so tell us, why don't you introduce yourself and then, say what's been going on and what
I'm Yvonne Way. Legally, it's Jorge Gomez Way, but everyone calls me Yvonne Way. So we're at day 2 of the convention, the DNC, and
youngest delegate in New Jersey.
Yes,
Bernie Sanders delegate.
Bernie Sanders.
Right.
But what happened?
Smallest delegate, Bernie Sanders delegate in New Jersey.
I'll take that title.
Go ahead.
But I don't know. It's a little disheartening. I thought there'd be more of something up his sleeve for a contested convention, or whatever, with all the ringing that went on. But as people pointed out, I'm not a Bernie or bust, but I still don't know if I'm going to vote for Hillary. Just like the previous lady said, I might write him in, I might skip the line. We have other elections going on in November. It's not just president. And I am a big believer in bottom up anyway. But if like the numbers are getting too scary close in jury, which I don't think they are in jury, I don't think my vote's gonna affect her too much if I don't vote for her. But I'm definitely not voting for Trump. But if Trump,
you are voting.
I am voting, yes, but not for Trump. And I'll do a write-in if I have to. But if Trump, God forbid, is the president,
Do you guys know about
no one's
the
gonna
meeting
leave
at 10
me.
o'clock?
Yeah.
We just found out about it.
All right, great.
No one's gonna see
Where
me.
is it?
Whitman Hall.
Whitman Room. Thanks. Okay, sorry.
If Trump is elected, yeah, no one's gonna see me for 4 years in the United States. I will be leaving. Probably go to Australia or some cool country like that.
Australia is part of the TPP.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking Norway.
Norway's pretty nice. Or New Zealand?
Norway
Not
is,
New Zealand.
I think New Zealand is part of the TPP.
Okay. Well,
If the TPP is really as bad as it obviously is,
Yeah.
then I'm thinking Norway.
okay. But yeah, like, I
Listen,
don't
I'm
know.
not about to give up on my country and like totally bail, right? Like TPP sucks. I'm sorry to bump in on your thing, but I'm not ready to like just up and leave, right? I have a home. I've built where I am today, and
Take your home with you to Norway.
no, you know, I'll visit, I'll travel the world, but you know, it's America the Beautiful, man. I'm totally happy.
As a minority, I don't think I'd be comfortable with Trump. No, I would not. I'm Latino, and okay, maybe I assume because I'm Latino, but when a lot of people say Mexican, not everyone knows. He doesn't just mean Mexicans; he means all South Americans. And I am Colombian. I'm South American. I don't want to have a wall built. You know, I have family that's undocumented. So I don't want them to be more scared than they already are. So as a Latino and a person of color, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't envision Trump being the president. It's too scary of a thought. So I'll do everything I can to prevent that.
All right. Well, thanks, Ivan. I'm about to vote.
No problem. Thank you, Jeff.
You gotta vote.
Yes. Forced to be reckoned with. I got my We're the beast of
All right, now I need to
Bernie or other
Where do I vote?
M through Z.
Where do I vote?
Wait till you need the top sheet to see Clinton, whatever. Do it. Right, got your girl.
Good morning. How you doing? Can I film you while I'm doing this? Is that okay? Can I just talk to you and ask you? I'm filming right now. Is that all right?
What are you going to ask me first?
Just the things that you already know. Just like what's going on, what's no big deal. Just while I'm signing.
He just wanted to film. Yes. Friends. We got friends. Now we have they give it to you, friend? You got your, yeah, she got everything. She got everything yesterday. Meryl Green.
So how has it been this morning?
It's been fine.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, let me get your stuff.
I love democracy. My favorite form of government.
We are still Sanders for the rest of our lives. It's not just an election.
Thank you.
So that means you're saying good things or bad things.
What?
So you're saying good things or bad things.
Good things or bad things about what?
About the party. I think you're the fella that told me that somebody got bad press one time or something.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. What happened?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I
What
just
did you
thought-
do?
I feel like I did something.
What did you do?
Oh, no.
So this nice lady has been giving me my credentials every morning. I confused her terribly on the first morning.
I don't know. Anybody the last name A through L, you guys can come over here. Okay, what is it?
M through Z.
M through Z.
This way.
Now we're good.
Hey, Kristen.
Hey, what's good?
All right, girl. Kristen Efron. She's A.
Right there's one. Well, that's Lonnie. That's my cousin. All right, that's me.
Kristen Efron.
So is he?
I'll find her.
She's right next to me. There we go.
All right, waiting to cast my vote here.
I have
Alright, so we'll stand to the side, we'll call you when it's ready.
for the new tag.
Yes.
ID?
They're gonna give it to you all at once.
Okay.
Hi, Bernie.
Anyone else here at Bernie Day here?
Okay,
Please come down to the Whitman room when you finish. If you're looking at the front desk, it's off to your left. Straight back, make the left on the second door. All right. We'll have someone stand up and bring you in.
Clear this area.
Susan Rasselman.
We're trying to get people in.
I haven't voted yet. I don't know what to do. I mean, now I see what to do, but
Did you sign in yet?
no.
Okay. I thought you had signed in.
No, I was waiting to be told what to do.
Okay. Sign in. We're getting yours, Chris. Thanks.
Abstain.
They check your ID, sign your name.
Might be under B for Bass or L for Yes under B.
Do me a favor, you can record everything you want, just don't record anybody else's license, okay? Fair?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What is your name again?
Epstein, EP.
It might be on this side. It's all your picture. The Bass. Yeah, it looks like I'm under B, so I'm probably over there.
This is him.
Okay, good.
You're ready? They're going through it.
No, Barney. The one with your name.
We're signing in every day to get our credentials.
Are you staying at the hotel or are you driving?
Huh?
Are you driving or are you staying at the hotel?
No, I've been staying at the hotel.
And now,
I take the bus to when I went to the thing.
all right, there you go. And
Right there. Oh.
and now I'm about to cast the most important vote.
Okay, here you go.
Kristen's right here.
So we have
All right, girl.
Clinton, Sanders,
All right, we're
other.
good. Thank you.
Clinton, Sanders, other. My name. Wait, no. Clinton, Sanders.
I love your dress, green.
And sign.
Is that good enough?
Like 8 pens.
And sign.
I need that. Thank you.
And I just voted for Bernie Sanders.
Be a book with the delegate.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring it right back.
You want to get one upstairs?
You took up somebody else's.
Third floor?
Are you kidding me? I messed up the most important vote of my life.
What'd you do?
That's right. No.
You're all the way down here.
Oh, but you took up somebody else's thing.
All right, so I'll just do my signature again. That's good.
All right.
And you've already
Here.
given him this.
Here, I'm just going to sign more clearly on the line.
Affairs and the best damn secretary of Europe affairs I've ever known.
Better?
Okay. Do you have the first page?
They want to kiss me. That is
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Okay, you don't.
That's when you have a camera. They
All
want
right,
to
thank you. Anything else? All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Fran and Kristen, can I tell you something?
Yes.
I just voted for Bernie Sanders.
Fantastic. Me too. High five.
High five.
Excellent.
All right, you want to go to the room together?
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
How are you?
So we voted for Bernie Sanders.
And there's people watching. Watch, let's vote for Bernie. The
Most
people
important
out
vote of my life.
marching on the streets are voting for Bernie. It actually feels cooler now. It is, yeah.
Down that hall.
Thank you.
Second door.
You know what? The logistics suck. But when we got there, and then.
I mean, I'm probably gonna go over there around noon and just match the names against the votes just to make sure nobody's playing the games. What's that? Huh? Hopefully.
Richard, how you doing? I'm Rich McFarlane. We're having a meeting here with John Wisniewski for just the delegates, Bernie delegates of New Jersey, and we're waiting to see what John has to say. It's been an incredible time, and not really the result isn't what I was hoping for in terms of yesterday and what I expect today. I think we're in a lot of trouble. I think the Democratic Party has a lot to overcome at this time. And I'm really disappointed that Debbie Wasserman Schultz got a promotion after we found out that she rigged the election. What does it say about us as a country and as a party? What does that really mean? She has to resign from the Democratic National Committee and then she gets another job right away. I mean, we really have to look at ourselves and decide what kind of people we want to be. But we'll see what happens along the way.
But you voted for Bernie, right?
Yes, I definitely voted for Bernie.
Me too. Bert, can you tell me what's going on?
Waiting for the delegate meeting to start.
So Bert is our whip. What's your whip for the Bernie delegation?
Yeah,
what is it?
yeah.
And what is a whip?
Basically a conduit passing along information from the national campaign to the delegation.
And do you just get communication through email and then you just pass that on?
Ideally, although I haven't been getting much.
No? So that's John Wisniewski, superdelegate for New Jersey, for Bernie Sanders.
I've got a delegate list on my phone if you want to do a roll call.
I'm working.
Should we send out
Do it. You gotta say everything.
You did. Steve sent out just a few minutes about Brillo? No.
We'll just wait for a few minutes, get a few more of our
Some may be still online, get here.
patriots.
Yes, there's at least first one I'd like. There's at least two still online that I don't know.
Does it matter? I mean, I bailed out a line. I can go up later, I guess, after we're done. But until 12
Yeah, I've been told 12 o'clock.
but I figure we'll be done here.
Yeah.
Upstairs with us. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure thing.
So I'm recording for Citizens Media on Facebook, and I'm a New Jersey delegate. So could you say your name and whatever else?
Ben Silva.
I've heard your name. Jeff Epstein. I've heard your name. I don't know where. Maybe through the list or something.
I'm a delegate from Sussex County up in North Jersey. What would you like to talk about?
Is I don't know how old you are. Was this your first major campaign, or when did you get into Bernie? Or
I've worked on a couple of campaigns before this. Mostly up in North Jersey. I worked for Laura Cho and for Pat Gagnon and Nancy Pinkin before that. It's been about a year for me for Bernie. I actually started out as an O'Malley guy, but the more I learned about this unknown, is this guy who represented my values, the more and more I got into him. By the time August of last year came around, I was definitely on board.
So around what time? You said about a year, but
around August of last year was when I
think I came down for him like for Bernie. Yeah, I discovered him in late August. Did you hear of him before that though? I was aware who he was, but I didn't know him like I knew who Martin O'Malley or Hillary Clinton was. Okay. And so, did you cast your vote? Yes. I assume for Bernie? Absolutely. And what is your plan for November? I'll probably vote for Hillary Clinton. Not because I like her, but because I really don't think Donald Trump is the right person for president, and I want a president who can form complete thoughts and write policy effectively. Even though I might disagree with it, I want a president who knows something. And how much of your vote is anti-Trump, and how much of your vote is you're voting for Hillary Clinton? 100% anti-Trump. Nothing appealing about her? Not particularly. I've said before to other people, I don't like her. I think she's the wrong choice for the party, which is why I'm bringing. Obviously casting my vote for Bernie in the convention. But if she's what we got, then I'm absolutely I'm on board with casting my vote and encouraging others to vote for her. How much? I'm curious how far away you are from not voting for Hillary, even though Trump. I don't know if I could give an intelligent answer to that. I mean, is it the temptation? The temptation is strong, but she'd have to do something really bad, and that's saying that after she picked Tim Kaine as a vice president. That's saying that after her other insults to progressives. But I don't want to say that I'm with her, but I want to say that you're against. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. It's fun. Just a few more minutes. We've got a few more people. Practice. I'm excited about what I've accomplished. And I was really listening particularly the first thing I do is be a dad. Would you mind if I just record you guys talking what you're talking about? Sure. All right, thank you. So what did you guys think of last night?
About being parents. Well, you have 3 kids, 2 or 3. I have a picture. I have 6 boys. What? 6. 6?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
2 boys.
No,
it feels like that though. I bet at times. I've got 3 boys, and sometimes it feels like I have 6. Sometimes.
No, 1 plus 1 equals 7.
Yeah. Well, folks, when we had our second child, we were sort of enjoying his birth, and thankfully we had all the gear, so it was easy. Some brilliant person, I think it was one of our parents, came to us and said, there's really no difference between 2 and 3. I'm like, that sounds logical. We've got all the gear. We've been through this already. We've seen that. We know we're pros now, right? These people are liars. There's a huge difference between 2 and 3 because you're outnumbered. You go from man-to-man coverage to zone coverage, and we were blowing zones left and right. So
one of the things that really struck me about you and Mike Miller running in our county was that you were like real family men too, and I've been so impressed with the younger generation of men that are really loving and participating in being a father, and you impressed me with that, and so did Mike.
When have you ever seen me be loving to my children?
Jeff, how old are you?
I'm 44.
44. Wow.
You don't look it, by the way. I'm 42. I grew up in an era in the 80s, right, where I had a dad who worked his rear end off. He came from nothing. I mean, his grandfather. My father tells a story where his grandfather sold fruit on the streets of Passaic on a horse-drawn cart, and he was a little bit of nothing. He would sit up in the horse-drawn cart and help sell fruit. That's where my dad came from. My mom, similarly, a mother who worked in the bank, father who worked odd jobs and was a fire chief in his town. So my parents sort of came from a lower sort of echelon in the economic chain. My dad worked every minute of every day, and he missed things. So he missed Little League. He missed some swim practices and things like that, and swim meets, and family outings. I remember more often than not when it was my mom and my brother and sister and I sitting around the table, and my dad wasn't home yet. So for me, chasing the buck, chasing the accolades at work, it's probably not where my dad's view of things. I love my dad, by the way. I cherish what he did for us, but it's more important for me to be able to be a good, a dad that's around. I don't feel like I missed anything, but I think, and I don't know, Jeff, if you feel that way, that this is sort of a different view of the world right now. This is what
That's what kind of impressed me. I saw him before we knew each other. I saw him at a Bernie rally in February, and I have a picture. Did I ever send you that with your kids?
Alex Law.
What?
Alex Law's the movie,
Alex
right?
Law thing, but he
Well, I know we're not all here, but there's so many things going on during the course of the day that I don't want to keep everybody sitting in this room at the far end of the hotel, as lovely as this hotel is. I'm sure there are things you'd like to do. First of all, thank you for participating in the convention. I know that it is financially challenging to be down here and to be at this hotel, but I appreciate your support for Senator Sanders and for all of the work that he has done in this campaign. We're going to go into tonight and have an opportunity to have our support for Senator Sanders reflected in a vote total. That traditional scene you see at Democratic conventions where somebody is standing by the standard and they say the great state of New Jersey casts X number of votes for Senator Sanders and Y number of votes for Secretary Clinton. Well, that's tonight. And so that'll be an exciting time to be on the floor and be in the convention hall. The most important thing is that you have voted when you picked up your credentials upstairs. Now, there was some confusion at the outset, so for those of you, all the district delegates, I don't believe, had any difficulty in voting, but if you're an at-large or a elected leader, political leader, they weren't letting them vote, so everybody voted?
They didn't tell me. They shoved a piece of paper in my face and said, mark one of these. They didn't tell us what it
They
was
said
for.
this is, for me, they said this is Bernie, this is Hillary.
Yeah, I guess that's-
I had no idea. I thought it was just for an identification.
I voted for Hetty.
There was a category.
So many of you have.
Sure, I think it's the right thing to do.
There was a category for other, and then Hetty was there.
Excellent. Good.
And so tonight there's going to be an opportunity for us to show our support for Senator Sanders by the vote totals and by cheering and by applauding. But you all saw the email that the senator sent out, and the goal ultimately, as we get to the end of this convention and ultimately to Election Day, is to have a unified party. And so it's going to be up to us in New Jersey. We can't control what happens elsewhere, but it's going to be up to us in New Jersey to acquit ourselves well, to show our support for Senator Sanders. But you've seen what some of the other delegations, like California, were doing yesterday. And, I think we're better than that, and I think that our behavior yesterday was great. There were people behind us. I don't know what it was about, but they had tape over their mouth, and they said they were silenced. They had masking tape over their mouth. So I'd like to figure out what that was about, but that's not New Jersey. At least they weren't yelling.
There were those people behind us in Delaware. I want to give them some of that mess.
Are you thinking about bringing that idea back to your caucus in the Assembly? Just shorten the meetings.
Well, there's a number of people that deserve some masking tape. That's Wisniewski. So
we need to be unified, but we don't necessarily have to be happy about it. Doesn't mean we should boo. But
right. Listen, in accordance with what Senator Sanders has said, you're all free to express yourselves as you wish, to cast your votes as you wish, to say what you wish. But there's a boundary line in terms of decorum, and what Senator Sanders is saying, look, let's act responsible, let's be respectful. Again, I know that there are a number of members of this delegation and nationally in the Sanders camp who are not entirely thrilled about where we're headed. The alternative is really scary. It's really dangerous, and we have to make sure that we keep that in mind because ultimately American political elections for president come down to a dichotomy, and we have to keep that in mind that if it's not her, it's him. And as much as we wanted to see Senator Sanders be the person accepting the nomination tonight, having that guy from New York take the oath of office in January of next year is, I think, a consequence that none of us could really accept in the long term. It would be devastating for all of the progressive values that we support. And the other thing is that, and Hetty, I don't know if you wanted to speak to this, but the goal after this election's over is we have a nationwide grassroots movement. 8 million individual contributions of $27. The people never involved in the political process across the nation and in New Jersey who are now energized around progressive values. We need to keep that progressive movement alive, and what we can do through the close of this convention, but also after the convention through Election Day, is make sure that people understand that we do support those progressive values and that the fight doesn't end with this convention, it doesn't end with this election, because there's only so much you can ever get done in one given election season. And we're going to continue to have that same agenda about making sure children aren't crippled with student loan debt, that there's pay equality between men and women, that people have a living wage, that we unrig the financial system, and the list goes on. We all are smart enough to know that all is not going to happen between now and November. Some of it can happen shortly thereafter. A lot of it's going to take some more work. So, Hetty, do you want to say a few words to that effect?
Yeah, I really would, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do so. I found yesterday fascinating, and to me it was the tremendous power of having a contested primary around issues. And so often what we see are elections, even primaries, but elections that are entirely defined by focus groups and by PR people and a campaign that is about moving some itsy bitsy tiny needle, right, of independents or swing voters this big and not being about issues. And to me, it was astonishing how, that by having this kind of a primary, it turns out we're having an election that's about income inequality, about a rigged financial system, about what is really a complete corporate economy, and the idea that the Democratic Party has at some level, in a real way, embraced and is addressing issues of racism, sexism, homophobia. It's sort of mind-blowing, to me. And I do think that's because of this rich, important primary. And we saw it yesterday. And then when Bernie got up at the end, and he just hammered it home by, after you'd heard a whole lot of, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm going to show myself, rhetoric from Cory Booker, sorry. A lot of, wonderful, amazing, charismatic speaker, but all rhetorical, And then this complete hammering of the issues that we won. So that to me was really amazing and exciting. So, and I know lots of people are mad, and I think this is an issue, right? You don't have to be happy about it, you could be mad about it. I mean, you can, and we have deep wells of anger and love, and that's what makes us, left and progressive people, and that's what we'll continue to be. But, the importance of moving this on, we have a gubernatorial race in our state. Every single legislator is going to be up for election in 2017, and can we make these races be about real issues and not about bullshit? And there are critical, difficult issues that we're facing. So, onward today.
Thank you, Hetty. So with that, I'll just open it up if anybody has any questions. Yes.
It's not a question. I just want to make a statement, which is sort of obvious and sort of we can't do anything about it. But I think this would be a lot easier if there was less just outright celebration. Oh, we're so happy, Hillary's, and just some acknowledgement of we have some serious issues, and publicly acknowledging that, and it has that tape across the mouth is that feeling of we're just not being listened to, and doesn't change. There's nothing we can do in the short term for that, but that is the feeling of all this celebratory just party, party, party with all of this suffering throughout the stadium.
I think that people introduce themselves, right? Some of us haven't met everybody.
I'm Jeff Epstein. I'm a delegate in Delegate District 3. 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that's always happens at Diane Dalford, a Delegate District 20. I think that's always happens at a convention because people on TV are watching and they're partly selling a product because that's what you do on TV, and they're selling the Democratic Party as the party of, inclusion, and it was great. I thought it was great, like all the women and the very diverse people that they had up speaking last night. I thought that really showed the power of the Democratic Party, and our strength is that it is our diversity. But my fear is that if we're not listened to, that we're going to wind up like the Republican Party. We're going to actually start to pull apart because next time there might not be a Senator Sanders, there might be somebody, who is really, really, like, we'll wind up like the Republican Party is right now. We're splintering. So are they really listening? Do they really understand? Do they really get it?
One thing I'd just like to ask everybody in the next couple of days as you're going to caucuses, councils. Oh, sorry, Burton Lefkovic, delegate.
And whip.
And whip, yes. Is that New Jersey, as it was mentioned, New Jersey has our gubernatorial and legislative elections as well as county and local races. We are the only game in town next year. Virginia's got their elections as well, but I don't think they're going to be nearly as contested. We've got potentially a 5 or 6 person gubernatorial race. Anything that you can do when you're meeting with Bernie people from other states is to talk about what's going on in New Jersey next year and let them know that the next battleground is not 2018 as much as Zach Exley is talking about it. Next battleground for Bernie's political revolution is in New Jersey, 2017. And that they should be learning more about it, paying attention to it, and making our races that we're going to be organizing a national campaign. Because we've seen what Bernie can do at the national level in presidential race. Imagine that same kind of energy can be brought to New Jersey. 320,000 people in New Jersey voted for Bernie Sanders in a 5 or 6 candidate race. Half as many people would be needed to win the Democratic nomination for governor.
Examples of positions in 2017 in Jersey?
State senator, state assembly person, and the entire assembly, the entire state senate. Most counties will have freeholder races, other county races. Most towns will have municipal races, school board elections.
And it's only us in Virginia, so that's why it's national.
And who knows what Virginia's going to have?
Just to make that point, and not to sound like a cheerleader for us or larger for the party, and kind of echo a little bit what Jeff said. A lot of us are asked to do different media interviews, and we're popular, obviously, the Bernie side of things, and particularly last night. I thought last night was phenomenal, and particularly the lead up to the speeches and our standard bearer giving the speech. But one of the things I've said repeatedly, people want to ask, well, is it over? It's not over. It just began. We ran a fight. We ran a really great race in the primary. And the primary ended. And we were all being told to end and end and end. And many of us fought back and said, we're not going to end till it's over. The primary came and went. And our side didn't have enough votes to prevail. That's okay, but we're not done. And there's a myriad of different reasons on why, and we can all talk about that. But we didn't prevail, and we can all say why. But where we are today is the start of the general election. And one of the things I said yesterday is we're losing. The Democratic Party right now is losing. You go look at the polls. There's no reason why this should even be close, in my opinion, but we're actually behind. And the messaging that's going to come out of this from the Bernie folks, from the Hillary folks, from the whomever folks, right? We've got to figure out our message going into the fall, collectively, I think, if we are, together as Democrats, our messaging going in the fall that's going to get more people to vote in a general election for us than for him. And that, I think, comes back to one of the victories of what we've already achieved in this room and beyond on the Bernie side. We changed our platform in a positive way. We've achieved a victory already. And I know you have gone, and others like you have gone to battle in the trenches in labor and in other places in the progressive community have gone. We prevailed on some big things already in our platform that I think are populist messages going in the fall. It's up to the standard bearer of our party, who's going to accept this party's nomination, to carry this forward. And our to our job to hold her feet to the fire as she goes forward and our party. But I think that's our job going forward, Chairman. I really do. I think we've accomplished something already, and we play a role in the general now to continue this effort.
Thank you.
What I'd like to say in reference to what you just said is that it seems like it's really important at this point for this group to unite in one large group. There's many different ways we could go right now in terms of like unifying us all, because we all sort of have silos. I'm the point person for Progressive Democrats of America, and would love to have that be the conduit for New Jersey Bernie people. There's also Democracy for America, there's also Working Families, and there's probably other
United
ones.
Progressive Party and
Democratic Progressive Caucus.
No, the brand new Congress.
Brand new Congress. So maybe we'd have to, is there any way that we could get unified around one of those?
Yeah, I think that's what we have to work towards. Joey?
One of the things that I took, Joe Novick from Flemington delegate. One of the things that I took away from the Dean campaign back in 2004, which evolved DFA and certainly the Bernie campaign, is the need for constant vigilance and search for great local candidates. One of the advantages of having 565 municipalities, it gives you a rich opportunity to find local people to run for local races. There are lots of Bernie people right in this room. If you've never held local office, if you've never been on a school board, if you've never run for a borough council, this is your opportunity. You have a network of people who can help you if you've never run before, and those values begin at the local level, and that's how we get great candidates and make change. So take what Bernie says seriously, organize, find those candidates if it's not you. I mean, it's something that we've done in Hunterdon County for a long time. Flemington, my own town, very Republican area, but we've always found good Democrats to run on issues, and that's how we won, regardless of party. So take that inspiration and do it.
Thank you, Joey. Peter?
And speaking to that aspect, when you guys go home Friday morning, Thursday night, the political revolution stays alive because our campaign is heading to the general election as the first Bernie Sanders Democrat and the only one going to do. So I don't have to invite you guys. I expect you to be in Somerville, 131 North Gaston Street, to help out with the political revolution. I believe if we could win here, especially in the state of New Jersey, a millennial, an Asian American, I think we could set precedent for the rest of the state and inspire more people to run. I don't believe in trickle-down economics. I believe in trickle-down politics, though. If we could win here, I believe many other seats could be won.
Bernie Krat, Peter Jacobs from North Jersey.
Good morning, everybody.
The only Bernie Krat that won in New Jersey for
From
Congress.
Sayreville, Middlesex County. I just want a little bit of housekeeping first, is that myself, Bert, Regina, and Catherine are all whips, as Bert mentioned. So if you see us and you have a question, now you know what our faces look like. There's Regina in the back. Bert spoke already. It's going to be chaotic, of course, over the next couple of days. If you do have any questions, come see us. Open our emails if we send them to you, last-minute logistical changes, etc. I also want to thank all of you so much. I've seen so many of these faces over the last 6 months, and it's been an incredible dedication. And that's what it means to make a political revolution, is to show up, to be engaged, to be emotionally and mentally present. And we've all done a great job, and we're going to be proud of that when we look years from now, what we did during this campaign. But the reason I got involved in this, when John had asked me initially, he said, how do you feel about the Sanders campaign? And I said, this is the one that I want to be part of. I don't know if a transformative campaign is ever going to come across in my lifetime. This is the one that I need to be there for. And my grandfather's generation beat the Nazis. My father's generation put an American flag on the moon. My generation, I'm 31, is the generation, the first one, that is going to be worse off than the generation before me. I graduated college in the middle of a housing crisis that was brought on by the status quo in government. We have student debt of hundreds of thousands of dollars per person in this country. And so when you guys think about what you're going to do between now and Election Day, think about how you're going to be responsible for taking that generation that's the worst, that's the generation that doesn't have it as good as the one before, and saying, no, that's not acceptable. That's not a tenet of American democracy. This generation will have it better than the other generations before it, because we're going to do something about it. So that's the message we need to think about. There's obviously policy issues that we can debate back and forth, but think about this in its greatest magnitude. We can't be the first generation to fail, and we all have that responsibility. So thank you all so much for all the work we're doing, and thank you, John, for everything you've done for the campaign.
Thank you, Steve. Rosie Ginsburg.
I would like to feel more productive, and I would like to feel more kumbaya. But if I'm being honest with the people in the room, or my friends, I will tell you I'm extremely angry. Oh, by the way, Rosie FM, I'm a Pleo delegate, but my district is 9, Hunterdon County. I'm extremely angry. I'm less angry at Hillary Clinton, who I think is incompetent, than I am at the Democratic Party, which is my party. And I have been, in so many different ways, people have tried to force all of us out of that. I am going to stay in the Democratic Party. It's very hard for me to do so. I don't want to. I mean, if you're really talking about honesty, I want to leave. Having said that, everybody in the room is smart and strategic. We are the people who are smart and strategic in New Jersey. We have to have something to say to the people who want to vote for Jill Stein. And I think that each of us in our neighborhoods and our workplaces are going to be dealing with people who are just as angry and want to strike out by voting, essentially a protest vote. And I think it's important to know what to say to those people and to be honest about it, because there's nothing wrong with her as a person, but the Green Party is not capable of running a viable election. They have no message that makes any sense. They have no communication skills. They have no viability. They can't raise money. And if you pluck Jill Stein right now and put her in the White House, she would have no idea how to govern. And it's not that I'm against her. Go for it, but not now. Right now, we have a job to do, and then we have a job to do after that.
Thank you, Ruby.
The other thing I'd like to add, I mean, kind of on the same wavelength as Rosie, is we also need to be very smart and strategic about how we're talking to our fellow Bernie people. Our number one priority, particularly with regards to what we learned yesterday from Bernie Sanders and the Our Revolution movement that's going to be moving forward, is the most important thing is to keep these people involved and active in the Democratic Party, because that's how they can make an impact. The surest way to lose them and send them off either to apathy or to Trump or to Stein is to make a hard sell for Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton can be part of the conversation, but far more is to let them know that there are people like Peter Jacob running who could really use their help, who are aligned with their values, that there's local races where their vote can make a difference. Let whatever problems we're having right now in terms of polling have a lot more with total aggregate national numbers and particular states like in the Midwest. New Jersey is most likely not going to be a problem for Hillary Clinton. So we really don't need to make that our emphasis and risk losing people. We really need to just focus on keeping them involved with us and give them as much reason to do that Peter Jacob local races as possible.
Thank you.
So I just have to say, we have to talk about the Supreme Court. It's not so much about Donald Trump in a scary way, just as an individual, though he is a very scary individual. We have to talk to people seriously about the Supreme Court, because voting for Jill Stein or, the Libertarian guy or the weed man at this point is not recognizing the tremendous impact. I mean, look, we are just, with the death of Anton Scalia, we are just getting through a Reagan Supreme Court, and it isn't just the Supreme Court, it's every single federal judge. I mean, these horrible labor decisions, the horrible decisions involving affirmative action, voting rights, all of these astonishingly bad, terrible, anti-democratic, frightening, fascist decisions. Citizens United, has destroyed any chance of democracy.
This is all caused by Reagan appointees to the Supreme Court. We end up with a Donald Trump. If we will not have a labor movement in 20 years, we almost lost the entire public sector this year, right, with the Fredericks decision. Had Antonin Scalia not died, we would have lost the ability of the public sector labor movement to be an organized force. One person. I mean, this is what we will not have a labor movement again. We will not have voting rights. We will not overturn Citizens United. I mean, those are the issues here. It's not about her emails, or we don't like her, or that she, even all the bad things, even the fact that she's on Walmart's, board, all those things. This is a fundamental issue that we must discuss with people who, are making a decision about where their politics are.
So I want to respond to that. I don't disagree with anything you just said. Reagan appointed people that were still being affected by however many decades later. And if Trump becomes president, we'll be affected by the Supreme Court for decades. But Hillary Clinton, validated by her VP choice, will pass the TPP, and that will affect us for decades, our sovereignty, our freedom of speech on the internet.
There's nothing worse than TPP in terms of being anti-democratic at this point, but I think you just made a huge leap, and that leap being because she selected Tim Kaine, that she will in fact pass TPP. But let me just say, our danger on TPP is not Clinton. Our danger on TPP is Obama during the lame duck. It's not Clinton. So I actually don't agree with that analysis.
Okay, but still, the TPP itself is more scary to me than Supreme Court nominees.
Well, it's not. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Look, and that's why we're Democrats, is because we all have different views on what is the most important thing. The Supreme Court is important. Trade policy is important. There are lots of issues that are important, which all goes back to the core message that I've been trying to get across, is that yes, I know that having Hillary as our nominee is not necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but it is a better cup of tea than the alternative. But we have to do something better than that, because we cannot win an election by saying, vote for our candidate because our candidate is less scary than your candidate. That's not a recipe for success. So what we have to do is we have to talk about the things that we can get done. We have the most progressive platform in our party's history, thanks to the work of Bernie Sanders. And we're going to take that platform and we're going to work to make it law. Is it going to happen overnight? No. This is a long-term process. But we have to recognize that it has to start somewhere, and we have to stick together to get it done. Yes, you had a question in the back, and then.
No, just more of a statement. I think that with everything going on, all the disappointment and all of this other stuff, the fact that we're here, I mean, I think we owe ourselves a round of applause. And our chairman
I also don't. I mean, I know 2017 everything's open and there's a lot to do, but I think New Jersey, if we're taking it for granted, there's lots of work that we can do here in New Jersey in 2016, whether it's getting on buses and going to Pennsylvania or making phone bank calls into Ohio or wherever. So we're gonna have a full-fledged campaign in New Jersey, and we should.
Constitutional amendment on the pension.
Right,
in New Jersey. Woo!
Right. So that is happening in New Jersey.
Is it definitely going to be on the ballot?
It's not
No, the Senate hasn't voted yet.
No, but we hope by Monday that'll happen.
Let's talk to the senators that are here.
That's a good thing to do.
Last question, and then Tim.
Okay, Yvonne or Jorge Gomez Way. This might be a dumb or easy question, but I heard that some people told me, some veterans of the DNC said that on the floor you're able to add maybe an amendment or try to pressure people to put an amendment on. Like, I would like to do the ban fracking. I don't know if that's possible. And then
The platform's done.
The
platform's done, and that's very, I mean, you can, in theory, do it. It's a very complicated process. It involves soliciting signatures from lots of delegates across the nation. But
like a third of the entire delegation.
Oh, that's not bad, alright.
And to Phyllis's point about Jersey, though, stay involved here in Jersey. I mean, one of the things that we passed at the legislative level was a ban on fracking in the state. The governor has not since vetoed that bill. There's treatment of fracking waste going on in New Jersey right now. So I mean, we have our own fights going on here at home that don't necessarily need a platform at the Democratic Committee to do. Phyllis is absolutely right. We got our own folks back in Jersey, and this group's already organized.
Let's fight the fight here in New Jersey.
Absolutely,
Get done.
absolutely.
Tim.
I just wanted to go back and emphasize the point that Hetty was saying, because everybody's saying, this issue or this issue, and we're all allowed to have our priority issues, but the Supreme Court is all those issues.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a tie on a labor issue this year on organizing. There was a one-vote decision this year on access to abortion. There was a gay marriage decision that was a very close call. There were a number of decisions on all the issues of concern to us where we're just starting to see the courts turn and need that to be reinforced. So I don't want people to think the Supreme Court is one of a laundry list of issues. It is all the issues.
Well, TPP trumps the Supreme Court if it passes, so that was my concern regarding that.
Thank you, everybody. 12 noon, I'm hosting a luncheon right down the hall in the Liberty Ballroom. I hope you all come.
Bernie Burgers.
Bernie Burgers. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Regarding voting for Trump, Cindy, just vote. Vote your conscience. Very good. Just don't stay home and not vote. If you need to write in Bernie Sanders, write in Bernie Sanders. If you want to vote for Hillary, vote for Hillary. Whether it's for pro-Hillary or anti-Trump, but just vote.
Has everybody got their credentials and voted? Vote, get your credentials by 12 o'clock and vote for Bernie.
Wait, what? Oh, right.
That means that I get to go on the delegation tour. You can get in. Some people have whatever this is called, this pass, but they don't have forms because they're not part of the delegation or the press. So they can get into the Wells Fargo Center, but they can't go before it. So, all right, I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon. I'm going to take a nap.